How's everyone doing? So I'm going to try and do a few more of these um, lives and stuff. So I'm going to try and do a few more of these on Fridays. Well, I've got my office day, but I thought, well, I'm on me Todd. The lads are getting on with sorting out the roofing basically on our big job. So I thought, right, today I'm just going to finish off a bit of labelling, just done a bit of testing on this garage conversion that's been completed. So yeah, it's one of those because how many times you come across this and you have people where they just leave it, just got marker pen and things like that, it just looks a mess. And I just think, actually, no, let's just redo the whole thing, get the label maker out and get cracking. So one of the questions we had from one of the guys who jumped on my last live that I did, I can't remember if that was on here or TikTok, I think it was on here. And he was an adult learner, basically. Hi Anthony, how you doing? So he was an adult learner, and and he was on about rate of pay, and I do feel sorry for people who are adult learners coming into the trade because you're competing against lads well, it's a fine edge thing because you compete against lads who are 16, minimum wage, and all the rest of it, and whereas you're then going, actually, you're going to be paying minimum wage is still actually a high wage for someone who hasn't got a clue. So it's a little bit concerning. So where are we at? So hot tub now. Okay, so one of the things I've stopped doing this as well on here is I used to write spare on these, right? Stop doing that. And there's anyone else, right? If you've used one of these, if anyone else got one of these, and it just runs out of ability to put more. Oh no, I nearly pressed her off. Maybe just press print. Ran out of the ability to take so many words. A bit like my vocal, really, isn't it? So I'm hoping that'll be enough. Yeah, so what's everyone up to? Where am I from? So I am from a small village, funnily enough, in Leicestershire. So still don't live far from there. My mum still lives in that house. Bless her. That's where I'm from. I'm guessing by your last name, that you're Eastern European, something like that. That's another one gone. So I'm guessing Eastern European. But yeah, so a lot of people, I don't know why, but sometimes on the recordings, I go a little bit Yorkshire. Don't know why, especially if I've seen one of my cousin's partners. She's from up north. She's from Bradford. And every time I see her, all of a sudden, I'm talking like I'm from up north, or in my head. And a lot of people have actually said, "Are you from up north?" But yeah. Ooh, that's annoying. Making a hash of this today, guys. And that's because that is stuck on the old residue. Yes. So, your dad was Polish. Oh, nice. So my late father-in-law was actually from the Ukraine. He was, in fairness. Oh, bless him. Pretty much done and dusted and fixed for this room. Plumbed that stupid thing in, which actually was really nice, but it weighs an absolute ton on my own. And I've also just done the sink. Now I've got my, hi Gary, how you doing? Um, so I've also got my NIC, annual NIC assessment that is coming up on Thursday, I think it is. So any of you guys want me to make a video on that, and just let us know. I'm going to try and do a full video on it if I can. It stayed there after the Second World War. Oh, okay. Yeah, so the NIC is one of those, I hate it every year. Every year it's a stressful thing. Anyone else feel the same? Whether that's NAPIT or NIC or whatever. I've been doing this for 20 years and it doesn't really get any better. So if you're new into learning, that's something to look forward to, isn't it? But in fairness, it's one of those things where you just have to suck it up and get on with it. You're right, John. So I had one assessor for 10 years straight, and he was absolutely amazing. A really, really good guy, but unfortunately he passed away, which sucks. Which then meant the following year I had another really good guy, and it was the one where we're just coming out of COVID and lockdown, and he's really, really nice bloke. But because of the nature of the world, how it all changed after lockdown, we were having to do absolutely tons of more like what do you call it, theory-based assessments, right? So the theory-based assessments were not great because it's very, very technical. And in fairness to him, he said, look, you're going to have to get on with this because everyone's working from home. We couldn't turn the power off on all these jobs and all the rest of it. But in fairness to him, he said, I absolutely smashed it. Anytime he asked me a question, it was bang. It answered straight away. And he loved it. And it was great. So that was fine. So we got on with him really well. That wasn't an issue. The following year, my God, the worst assessment I can honestly say I've ever been on. It was a nightmare. So the guy turned up at my house at 8 o'clock, which he shouldn't have been there. It was 8:30. I know it sounds petty, but when you get this stressed, he turned up at 8 o'clock, and his first thing he said to me, love a bit of maths on a Monday. You having a laugh? I hate maths. I don't know anyone in the trade, let alone Sparkies, who like maths or like anything school related. Oh, great! I'm in for a bloody rough ride here. And it was. Let's just say it weren't fun. And I have complained about it. So he was with me all day. I had no break whatsoever. I even said, look, I'll take you to Mackey's if you want something. I'd rather just get the assessment done if that's all the same to you. Well, not really, because I'm starving and I get proper hungry. But all right, mate, whatever. Then we went to 5 different sites as well. 5. Now, obviously, I'm an approved contractor, so I think the requirement is 3 of major jobs or whatever, which is fine. Now, let's put this into context. I've been doing it a long time. And he wanted to go to 5. And I went, why we went to 5? And he goes, well, you've put down there's a commercial job on here. Yeah, great. It's one commercial job that I've done in the last probably 3 years. Brilliant. I've only done the approved contractor because one of the assessors wanted me to do it. And I thought, oh, whatever. And somebody else put a comment on actually and said I wasn't a real Sparky. So I changed everything just to prove him. So I then had to wake up the landlady because I had no actual chance of being there. So bless her, she'd worked a full night shift, woke her up, got her out, let me access into the club. Because we basically renovated the disabled toilets there, so we renovated all that. And then the stupid thing was, he said, yeah, we're going to do a load of testing here. I said, no, we're not. We're not doing testing. You can do a visual here. I said, because I've got testing on other things. So we're going to do a visual because she's worked until 1 a.m. and it's now about 9:30 and you want her to get up. So it ain't happening. So we did that. And then he was just constantly bombarding me with maths questions of how would I calculate the cable run for this, this, and this, and this. I was like, mate, seriously, have a day off. This is ridiculous. He'd just gone way over the top, and he started to get on massive projects that I took him to. And it was 5 in total. And he said, "Oh, you've got down EV chargers." And there's one estate where we've worked in 12 houses. We've done whether from like extensions and things like that within this one estate. And I had, funnily enough, I had the keys to one of my clients' houses, which he was on holiday. And he rang me and said, "Why are you on my drive, Mike?" So he says, "I wondered who that bloke was." And he said he wants to look at the EV, but I'm not going in the house. He just wants to have a look at it, and I can talk him through. And I quickly realised that this assessor, now bear in mind it was 5 o'clock now, this assessor didn't know much about EV chargers. So I thought, right, I've got him. So I turned the screws back on him, was quizzing him like absolute mad about the EV chargers, what the requirements are, and he was wrong on a few things. And I said, "No, that's not right, that's not right." And he started getting flustered. And the best thing about that is I turned around to him, "It's not nice being put under pressure, is it?" And he goes, "Well," he says, "it's just stuff that I didn't not quite up to date with." And I went, "But you're an assessor, and you were making me feel uncomfortable when you didn't need to, and now I'm doing the same. It doesn't make you feel very good, does it?" So I say, "I think that's the end of this assessment. So if you don't pass me, don't pass me. I don't give a monkey's. Fail me. What I'll do is I'll go over to NAPIT, or I'll be like all the other clowns who just go around and don't sign anything off." And needless to say, he passed me, and I've put a complaint in, and I'll never have that guy again. The guy I've had since then is a chap called Dave. Brilliant bloke, really nice. He wants to get as much out of the day as what I do. Again, very similar to my original assessor, who's great. So if you are going into doing any of this, right, doing your assessments, things like that, I know it's hard, but try and get as much out of the day as you possibly can, even if that's you're on the domestic installer and I think the class is half a day, I think, on the domestic installer. I can't remember now, but I think it's half a day of one major job. But try and get as much out of it. So if there's any changes in the regs that you're not quite aware of or you're not quite sure of, just chat them through, because they love all that, in fairness, because their job must be pretty boring. They're going to the same thing, repeat questions all the time. And as long as you're doing things safely, even if you don't know everything, which, let's be honest, no one does, you'll be fine. Just be respectful. You'll get the occasional donkey out there, but it's not that often. It really isn't that often. So yeah, so that's that. So anyone got any questions while I'm on here? Like I say, I'm going to start wrapping this one up fairly soon. If you got any questions for me, let me know. I have got to go and get the brush out of the van and have a bit of a sweep up. I know I'm letting you all down. But hey ho, we are where we are. I've got a Hoover down here, but don't tell anyone, all right?